Sooner fans, welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Make sure you have subscribed to our channel and that you have your notifications turned on so you will be updated when we drop more videos like this. Another commitment to the University of Oklahoma, Michael Boganowski, 4-star, 6'2", 205. I don't know position-wise. We'll talk about that maybe, but out of Junction City, Kansas, a great get for BV and staff, guys.
Yeah, he's the definition of a cheetah. A linebacker, safety, dual threat. Reminds me, obviously this is a massive comparison, but Isaiah Simmons on just that ability out of high school to play that cheetah role. That's why Brent Venables recruited him so heavily from the Junction City, Kansas. Also had Kansas State in his top three in Kansas on the final decision. Kansas State, his dad played for one of the linebacker coaches there currently, so that connection was there. And then he's from Kansas, so those two in-state schools really just came down to what everyone should expect of. So what happens after you win OU Texas? It's not a coincidence that the Monday following that massive win, that all-time classic of the Red River rivalry, that he announces his commitment date for today, October 19th.
Yeah, and you mentioned, just like you said, another commitment in Kansas, another guy from Kansas. And guys, Brent Venables he's going to own the state of Kansas, okay? That's what's going to happen at OU. He's going to own it. And he played his high school ball in Kansas. He played college ball at Kansas State. He's going to own that state. You go back to Jaron Kanek last year, and now you got Michael Boganowski. And what this is like coming over to your neighbor and robbing him of one of their best. I mean, he's right next door to Kansas. That'd be like Kansas coming and getting one of the best players out of Oklahoma. And that's what Brent Venables is doing here. And Boganowski, a great get. And you mentioned the Texas game, how much that meant. I think it's also fairly evident in watching college football this year. The Big 12 conference is a very weak conference right now in football. And if you have the chance to play in the SEC where it means more, you're going to take that chance more times than not.
Yeah, what's really interesting about, you mentioned the Brent Venables dominance in Kansas. It's really spreads over the entire state. Jaron Kanek, he went and got him in 2022 out of Hays, Kansas, kind of closer to that western half of the state. Junction City, more in the central part of the state. And then the Kansas City, I know half of it's in Missouri, but just that whole KC Metroplex in either the Kansas side or the Missouri side. Brent Venables is really and co have done very well recruiting all across that state.
Yeah, and you look at some of these highlights. You saw a couple where he was on the offensive side of the ball. He was running away from people. This is a guy that brings speed and physicality. Years past, you had Speed D there in Norman. Now you have speed plus physicality, a combo that you have to have in the SEC. I mean, he's hitting people hard. You talk about a guy who can get downhill in a hurry. Exactly. He can definitely get downhill in a hurry, which is exactly the MO of what the Sooner defense is all about, especially this year.
Well, and you look at some of these plays, just watching some of these, Peyton Bowen's had an unbelievable freshman year, okay? And you hear Brent Venables talk about Peyton Bowen. He kind of got that instinct of where to be. I can see kind of the same thing with Boganowski here. He really does have the instinct of what angles to take, where to be. I know this is high school and the level of competition is not like it will be at OU, but he's got all the ability that I think they're looking for in that position.
Yeah, you saw that play there. That's something else I want to point out about Michael Boganowski. This is someone who, you could see, look, he's super talented. Maybe he takes some plays off. This guy doesn't. That one play, a couple plays back, he came from across the field to make the tackle from behind. Sometimes you don't see that in high school. I can name some names, but I'm not going to. But you don't see that where guys are coming from the other side of the field to chase after someone who wasn't even in their area. He does it. To me, what that demonstrates is he's a high character guy.
he's a high effort guy and a high work ethic guy. You tack that on with the talent and the speed that he has, and that's a Brent Venables guy.
Yeah, a few plays ago, there was that one at the goal line. Him coming, probably running 10, 15 yards to make that play to prevent a touchdown. To see that in high school is impressive.
Yeah. Do we know anything on his 40 time? He's a pretty fast guy. I mean,
I do not know anything on his 40 time. What about on the recruitment of Boganowski, guys? Who the major player was, major recruiter on staff? I mean, obviously Brent Venables had a big hand in this one, maybe more so than some of the others because of the location area, I think. You know, some of those other guys OU's got committed definitely was a Miguel Chavis or Todd Bates kind of thing, but this seems to be more BV kind of on this one.
Yeah, and another guy that's not talked about a lot, Brandon Hall. That was the primary recruiter for him. I think Todd Bates, at least on 247, is listed as the secondary. But Brandon Hall, he's done very, very well in the safety room over the past few years. That only 2 years he's been at OU. You have Peyton Bowen last year, which that was really just the whole staff. I think Todd Bates was one of the closers they sent in. Jay Valai did really well in that recruitment, but Brandon Hall did very well too. And then you have Jaden Hardy. This class, now Michael Boganowski. It's just the safety room that Brandon Hall is putting together is very, very impressive.
Yeah, they've totally changed the idea of OU safety, just watching them now, and what they've done in the last year and a half, 2 years. It's a position that they've totally flipped the script of what a safety at OU looks like, or a cheetah, whatever it may be. That position, it's just a downhill guy that's very physical that they hadn't seen there at OU in a few years. Now they've got back-to-back recruiting classes with it. Just very impressive for the Sooners.
Yeah, the safety room next year, it's going to be somewhat different. I mean, it depends on Billy Bowman stays or goes. Key Lawrence has another year. Reggie Pearson is out of years, eligibility there. So you're going to see Peyton Bowen step up. I think Jaden Hardy is going to step up as a freshman, and Michael Boganowski could work into that some, or maybe it's a redshirt year for him because just the amount of pure depth that's at Cheetah. Right now, you're looking at if Justin Harrington gets that waiver, he's back. Deshaun McCullough is back. Kendall Dolby is back, or maybe playing corner. Or
Jaden Rowe.
Yeah, Jaden Rowe. That's they're so loaded. So that's a nice thing with Boganowski is you're not going to have to throw him into the fire of the SEC as a true freshman. He's going to have time to develop, hit the weight room with Schmitty, and become a better player before he starts.
Where is OU's class now ranked now that Boganowski has committed? Where would you say that's at?
Hasn't moved yet. They're still trailing, I believe, Florida State. They'll need one more commitment. Boganowski bumped them up a little bit, but not enough to make a jump in the ratings. So I would expect a top 5 class sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, guys. Michael Boganowski out of Junction City, Kansas, 4-star guy. Welcome to the University of Oklahoma. Another massive recruiting win for BV and staff. And can't wait for more. And we know there'll be some more. Make sure you are subscribed to our channel, the YouTube channel here, and that you have your notifications turned on. Appreciate you watching. Until next time, boys. Boomer.